Hello, welcome back. We're back after a short hiatus. We sort of been in hibernation, haven't we, Chris, for the last few months, putting the finishing touches on our new fantastic new package.
Yeah, it's time now to show it, because what we did here, I think it's really wonderful. And we had a small break now, but now we are back, and I think people can really expect something special today from us. And when I look on the screen right now and I'm reading Think It starts already with a nice idea.
Yeah, I think we spent the last 3 years on getting, almost 4 years now, getting where we are today. And we're super proud and super excited to share with you today what we're calling the Depix Design Studio. And I thought I would just start. We have yet to launch it officially. We're ready for enterprise, so we've already deployed this within enterprise. So if you're an enterprise customer, we can build a private server for you and have this as it is today. For everybody else, it's going to be available online very, very soon. So we're just putting the final touches on that. And what you see on the left here is our website, and that's almost done as well. It's not quite live yet, but we're almost ready to push the button. So you'll see this as the new version of our website coming very shortly. So I thought today we'll just start with sort of putting some context around what we've done and sort of showing via the website what we're up to. So we've doing what we call think it, see it, and most importantly, feel it. Feeling it is what happens when you create something that gives an emotional response. And we find ourselves so many times when we've got this creative idea, and then all of a sudden you make something, you just look at it and go, "Wow, that's really great. That should exist." And we've talked about this bit in the past, but we feel it all the time, don't we, Chris?
Yeah, if I look on this boat I did here some weeks ago, so it's like, wow, now we can do really boats and cars and products and all of that, in a really short time. And it looks like it's on the water, and people can go in and out. And it's really this feeling you have sometimes when you get something which you like to achieve.
Yeah, exactly. And so Design Studio, in the past, Design Studio was one software. Some have experienced it, but now it's become something much bigger. It's a true creative command center where we're handling sort of the project management, the image library, the ability to share and present your work, and most importantly, an agent orchestration, because now we have the coolest thing that has been brought to us just in the last few months, agents, and we'll talk about how those things are. But really, what it's about is ending the resource constraints that you may have had for your design process in the past. When you're short, when you just wish you had a few more people in a particular area, when you just wish you could do this one more concept that you couldn't do it because of time or budget constraints, this is where you can turn to Depix and use this tool to add some overflow work and capability to your tool set. It's really is another tool, but it's unlike anything that is out there right now. This is not Photoshop. It's not intended to be a replacement for Canva. It's not a replacement for anything else. This is a very unique tool. And the agents comprise of a tool called Product Vision. What Product Vision does is it enables you to enter a concept, an idea, and then generates some images that you can run with that. CMF Vision is your color material lab, where you can put in a location and an idea for that too, and it'll pull back some color trends for some research. Video Lab is for creating videos. I think anybody who's done some work with video knows how long this takes to do in the past. But now you can make a video out of your concept very quickly and easily. Product Shape, that's where you can generate a 3D model and edit the 3D model after it's been generated. You can modify a feature line very quickly and get your model into VR basically automatically. And then finally, sparring with the master. This is what we call Chat with Raymond. This is our true agent tool, where we have a chat interface where you can work with a very knowledgeable and educated design partner who will critique your work, evaluate your work, give you ideas, and is designed to be a sparring partner for you. So it's really these sets of tools are you're going to see a bit of them today, and we'll be showing more of these coming forth. But most important, it's about your vision. Your agents go to work. You refine in Design Lab. You put your own stamp on things, and you do your iterations, and then you present it with confidence at the end.
So to make it sure, we have this, what was Design Lab before is now our command center, and we have the agents on the side. And to chat with Raymond, it's more like a design partner on your side, which is really cool, which I like a lot because you can really talk to it now and say, hey, what's your idea? You have a partner, that's a very helpful thing for me. And this whole set now is a really round set where you can do a lot of in every corner.
Yeah, and Design Lab is the orchestration layer, so it is the hub of your network of researchers and workers in some way. So that's one way to think about this.
And this product shape, just one point more. This is very interesting also because we can start with an image, and we can go to 3D model, but also go to Gaussian splat, which is also very interesting, which you can show very fast in the Googles, So I think that's also very good to mention. And we can edit a 3D shape with some easy lines, which is also very interesting. So if somebody wants to see how we are dealing with 3D, give us a call or DM us. Product shape is the tool to it.
Exactly, and that is one way to reach us. You can reach either of us on LinkedIn or at our emails. I'm at philip.lund at Depix and christian.braun at depix.ai. But you can also find us on LinkedIn, and feel free to DM if you get them if you want to have a chat or have a demo. So let's dive in, I guess. Let's get to it. So I'm just going to change my screen here. Ready? I'll start off with this right here. Okay, you see my screen?
Not yet, no.
Okay, let's try again here. Share screen. Okay, here we go. Now you got me.
No, I just see you and myself right now, which is good.
Now you got me. Okay.
No, it's coming. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, okay,
That's nice.
So let's start with this, just because it's such a beautiful day out today. It's unusual to see so much sunshine. I was just thinking of the beach. I made an HDR out of with a sunset view, and our HDR creator in this tool is really fantastic. It's sort of everything you want out of a 32-bit HDR image generator. You even get to modify the sun size and sun intensity, so you can really dial your HDR and with your exposure and your intensity all the way down to to almost darkness, I guess. Which is what you need to be able to do, and then use that and then you just save this, export it, and when I export, I can export to an uncompressed HDR, EXR, PNG, or JPEG, and so you can use this directly in your VR or AR or rendering application, which is really nice.
That's really cool. And how did you come to this image? I mean, can you do the image directly in the tool, or how did you do it?
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. So here's the image I started with, right? So the way HDR Lab works is you have an image. In this case, I actually began with this image, and then using the tools we have in here, I click Create Images, and I just said remove the cars, the windmill, and the trees. And that left me with this image. And then I went to develop and then into the to HDR creator and clicked on that, and it automatically puts the image in here. Now, if I don't have an image in here, I could describe the scene and it will generate an image. So if you can generate any scene you want here. But in this case, since I have an image in here, I can just say use background, and it takes maybe a couple of minutes, and it produces the HDR.
And the result is really cool. The horizon is really perfect. It's all in the middle of the image, and so it looks really interesting and really good.
Yeah, and you can see from the size of the image, it's 4954 by 2477. So it's about a 5K width, which is if you've got an Apple monitor, it's about the full width of an Apple monitor, which is nice.
Maybe you can show now the people about the whiteboard, about the background, because you moved it around a little bit and you can see, okay.
Yeah, this is much like you might have seen in other whiteboard applications. We got an infinite canvas here that you can have your projects on. You can make a new save your projects here, and export your projects, of course. And then you've got import, export, and you can share your project as well. So you can share your project as a link that expires in either 1 day, 7 days, or never. And so you can allow people to come in and look at your projects in a read only manner as well, which is very nice. I'm just going to present a couple of things first, and then I'm going to hand it over to Chris, and he'll cover all the rest. But
Yeah.
one of my favorite things because I come from Hypershot, the 3D world from years ago. So we really tried to put some of the elements of what was Hypershot, now Keyshot, into this application, and it's near and dear to my heart. So I'll just show you that right now. So you see here this image here. This came out of our 3D Scene Explorer. So in Develop, we've got 3D Scene Explorer, and here I've got a couple of GLB files loaded. You are limited by how big the 3D model is you can bring in, but now you can get a pretty detailed FBX or GLB model. It imports OBJ, STL, GLB, FBX directly. So, and you can import 1, 2, 3, 4 models and put them side by side, which is really nice. But once you've got this in here, okay, you're going to say something, Chris?
So you have a real 3D model inside in that AI application, and now you can define your perspective and your view.
Exactly. We've got camera controls up here, so you can change your focal length of your lens. So if you like a really long lens, which I know is a bit fashionable right now to have maybe a 200 millimeter lens, or you can dial it all down to be a super wide angle lens like this, where you get a lot of distortion, but it might be a dramatic type of image. Personally, I kind of prefer a longer lens. I like maybe an 85. Always seems to work pretty good for me. So I'm just going to sort of line up an angle that I like here. And then I'm going to use the brush, and we've got a brush so you can actually draw stuff here. So I can maybe draw a road maybe draw a curve here or something. It doesn't have to be accurate. And then, we'll put I don't know, what do we put? We put a tree over here.
So you can just draw some elements in the scene, and then
it's like drawing out a pane of glass, So let's put a tree over here, some bushes, Okay, and then I'm going to go to our rendering tool buttons over here, and here we've got hundreds of preset images. And since we're talking about the beach, I'll just use a beach preset. So when you click on this item here, it goes up and drops it into the prompt zone. So you don't have to think a lot about what presets, what prompts you have to do. We've got lots of really great car photography setups already done in here. And I'll click the generate here.
Yeah, this is really helpful to have all these presets, because you don't have to think about, I want to see it in night. You just go to preset night, you click the button and generate. And that's really helpful in every situation. And we have a lot of really cool stuff here. So you can put it on the Nürburgring or somewhere else in the city and all this stuff, and now it's on the beach.
Now it's on the beach, just like I drew it here, see? And then it keeps the position, it actually made tracks. It made tracks in the sand, which is kind of
nice.
I didn't specify make it a curve. I guess I would have had to do that. But nevertheless, you can see you can have nice control over where you place things within the scene. And here you can also put people in the scene as well. I'm going to add this to my canvas, and that's dropped it to the canvas behind here. And now let's put a cylinder. If I click on the cylinder tool, it says, add figure. What should this represent? Now, do you want a man or a woman? Since we're at the beach, I'll put a woman in here. And now it drops a cylinder in. Let me just undo.
You're still in the paint mode, huh? Yeah. So
let's just hit move. There we go. That's what I'm after. I meant to move it. I'm still not moving. So I've got to take off the brush. That's why.
Yeah. You're in the brush.
There we go. There's my cylinder. Okay, so I've got a person there, and then I'm going to hit the button again, generate.
And you don't have to say it's a person. You just put the cylinder in, and because you clicked man, or it's a woman.
Woman should put a man or a woman in there now. And we did something the other day. You can drop in any of these other primitives into the scene, scale it to proportional, and then
Wow,
you can say put a make a pile of rocks or something else.
this looks cool,
It's not
man.
going to nail it every single time because we still got the grid in here, but you get the idea, right? Of
That's
exactly
cool.
the
Really
woman is
cool.
exactly where I placed her. She's the proper scale relative to the car, which is often an issue with generated images. The scale is not quite correct, and here you can use that cylinder to scale the person that goes in the scene.
For me, it
But
looks really good because you don't lose your camera position of the cars, so the car stays where they are, and the woman also, and this gives you more control, and that's what everybody looking for with AI right now, because control is one of the key features for the future to get what you want out of it, because it's still an infer machine, So, but it's like this is possible now to control with a 3D model and inside an AI application. That's what I
exactly.
like. It's cool. It's really cool.
Exactly. And that's what we've been focused on and over the last months is adding more and more elements of control to the AI. And I think that's what's going to evolve over the next years as well. Is our input, our control, our tuning, our design skills will be more and more included into what we're doing.
Wow, looks really good.
That's
I
a
love
much
it.
better example
Looks
here.
really good. Yeah.
It looks like the sand just got raked from this morning. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Really nice. Yeah, really nice.
looks
Yeah,
great. So
that's a
yeah,
really cool tool. I
make
like
these
it.
camera views very easy, and then you save the file here, and then you can reload the configuration and go back to it again. And if you add multiple cylinders, you'll have multiple people. You can make a crowd, and it's just a really great way to work with.
And then just for the people outside, let them know we have some more ideas to do here in the future soon, and we will see. We will share this soon, So I can see some more stuff to do here really fast. And for me, the biggest point is really to keep the current perspective of the car right.
Exactly, exactly, and you can see it keeps it very precisely, which
Super.
is really nice.
Super, and it looks really good. Yeah. So, and then you can bring it in Design Lab, and you can still work on the image. Huh?
That's right. So the image is around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's right here. So here's the two images. Let's just move them over here. So yeah, so here's my two images, and there's one of them. I can now change the background on this if I want to, change.
But for the user, it's maybe also very important to see if you double click on one image, the image gets big and it's in the center of the screen, and you can work on it. So if you double click, it gets big automatically, and that's really cool. You see your image you're working on,
Yeah, exactly.
and we have different levels of zoom in. Huh?
And here you've got crop. You can crop your image, download it, trash it, and then close it. So you've got a nice crop tool right there as well. So I just changed the background to a cityscape, and of course you can select your aspect ratio. Those are all basic
Yeah,
things.
aspect ratio. You can change your resolution to 2K or 4K, and yeah, fantastic. Looks really cool. Nice image.
Futuristic cityscape, and she's on the beach. And now, what another real cool feature we have is our ability. We can just take this image here that was just generated, and drop it over the top of the other image. You'll see us using this quite a bit today, I think. Just drag it over, drop it there. Well, it's supposed to. Let's just great.
I can show it later, Philip. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, you'll show it in a second. Let's just try this one more time.
Maybe just show us
Won't do it.
the rest of your board you have.
I'm like bored. Oh gosh, I was playing this morning, and I started to go with our CMF tool, which I think is really exciting. And in the CMF tool, it allows you to create a
Can you just show the mini map, because you just moved now the images around, and we have this nice mini map on the left side where you can go through a whole board. This is also quite cool. And you're watching Philip doing this stuff, and you can do it by yourself or a mini map. I think that's a really good one.
Yeah, so now this morning I was doing some playing with the CMF tool, and we'll talk about that a bit more soon. And that can generate a mood board, right? And some swatches, and you can apply that to any image. So in this case, I've got a blender exterior and a blender interior, and and you can see the sort of color mood from this. So you start with the exterior, then the interior, and then you can apply each color palette directly to the interior and exterior. It'll make decisions for you. These are not individual choices. and we'll talk about how you can modify these choices after. But right now, you're just sort of letting the AI choose for you in a tasteful way a color combination made up of the images that have been created. And you can also import your own color swatch palette and do this with that as well. So folks who don't have a lot of 3D rendering experience and want to explore colors and actually have that colors applied to what looks like a physical real model, this is a fantastic way to get
So you,
very.
you don't have to be a specialist for VR or whatever. So you can just drag in your image and say, make me this color.
And so that was an example of a raw, unshaded CAD file.
So it's a snapshot from a Blender file.
Yep. And
Mhm.
here's a photograph of a clay in a studio. So here's the exterior. This was just grabbed from the web. You can see it's 300 by 168 pixels, so it's very low res. And then here's an interior grabbed from the web as well, also fairly low resolution. But doing the same treatment where you have a palette that's been created, and I now want to apply this palette to that exterior and to the interior.
And that's really cool for design studios. I mean, you can just go take your iPad or whatever, your photo, and you go down the studio, you make some clicks, from the clay model. You go back, take the image and put it in, and you get these results.
Exactly.
Without knowing something, without knowledge of handling, whatever, really simple stuff and really good.
Yeah, so here's an example of the interior. You see we've got some concrete and some fabric. Here's a blue version. And it keeps it exactly perfect in placement. It does not move at all. It keeps very high consistency when you're changing colors and materials.
When you would like to remove this guy, you can just remove this guy in the photo, though that's not a
Oh yeah,
problem.
exactly. Of course. Yeah, it's the same way we just removed the tree. You
Mm.
can just put in the prompt, remove the guy from remove the man from the image.
And background switch is also possible. So, but
And what's
it's
really nice about these interiors is it also generates lighting scenarios as well. So you can get some really new and interesting ideas for lighting, especially as interior LCD or interior light illumination is becoming more and more important. This is a great way to visualize that and come up with ideas you didn't think of before. And of course, the last one is sketches. So you can take a sketch of an exterior, rough sketch of an interior, and it'll do the same thing. Exterior render, interior, and exterior, interior. Each one matching its color palette and combining the exterior with the materials that match the exterior paint. So it's a really fast and effective way to visualize.
so typical basic use case in the design studio. You have a sketch, you want to render it. You have a clay model, you want to see in different variations. You have maybe a snapshot from Alias or Blender or different software, just do it. And very simple, you don't need to have this deep education, and you can do it really fast.
Yeah, and the final thing we have a preset for exterior, interior, and then products. So let's say you're working on a matching car seat that goes with the car, and you want to have that shown in the same color palette. You can do exactly the same thing with the seat. So you can apply these same color variations in coordinated with the interior of the car.
That's really cool. But also here you showed something. Can you also show that you can change one part of the seat? So because that's
Yeah, so
maybe
let's say you want to take this part and you want to modify just one bit of that. So let me see if this is there you go. There you go. So you can overlay an image and you can compare the two side by side. So this is we can do localized material changes. And let me show you how that is done.
yeah.
That's where our what's that?
Can you maybe just take this beige seat or so and put it in and make this part dark also to see it really for the
Try
customers?
that. So I'm opening up the Raymond bot here. I'm going to do a little copy paste here.
Control Shift click.
Control Shift click. There we go. Okay. And then I double click on here, and now we've got a paint window, and the paint brush is already set at 40 pixels. So I'm just going to paint the area I want to change here. So
But you don't have to be so precise. You can just
ah,
make it roughly.
you're indicating an area,
Okay, and then you type in what it should be.
change the color, to charcoal and then apply. And it goes off, Raymond goes off to do its work.
So Raymond is our agent, our sparring partner in design, and he's doing this great work. You can discuss with him also some stuff, and you see what he did now. So good.
So it colored the center panel. So yeah, this is a fantastic new way of editing it. It sometimes doesn't perfect, but you can redo it. Try again. It's
Can you drag it out to the design board, and then we can put it on top of it, and then you can compare again? I mean, that's a really nice feature. This compare feature is really cool. So you double click here, and then you can just have your slider from left to right, you see. And that's something we are working on really strong now, because that's maybe a lot of jobs you have in the interior and color material area, where you want to change the material of some parts, and you want to have maybe a certain material. And so I think this is really future what we're doing here.
time. see if it does that. Okay.
Good. Can you separate these two images again? Yes, you click on separate, and then you have it.
You separate and then you combine.
Okay.
Double click, separate. There you go. Look at that.
Nice, yeah.
Now I've got a third version. Drop that in here, double click, and now I can have a look.
Nice. And of course, we can do all the rest. We can put it in context. We can change a logo. We can make a branding for a certain company. All the stuff you can do around image editing, we can do anyway. But this is really cool because you have this special control over some areas. And we have to think about it's not like a tool we know from CAD or so, where we have really separate parts. It's an AI machine. It infers, So maybe sometimes it's not 100%, but you're really fast and you can do it really good.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing about it. If it doesn't get it quite right, you can't get frustrated. You just got to try a different approach, try some other word, try some other idea. And you have to sort of free your mind to be creative and allow it to do its thing and try multiple. Sometimes you have to take multiple attempts, but mostly it gets it right. And it's getting it right much more as time goes on. I think we'll find it becomes more and more accurate as time
just to repeat for the customers outside, we worked now on Design Lab, and we used Raymond as our sparring partner to do some stuff here. So these two things we just used here right now. We have much more to use. Yeah.
I just click the in context button, so it's just making another image. Depending on the size of the image, a 1K image takes about 10 to 15 seconds. A 2K is about 45 seconds to a minute. And then a 4K takes about a minute and a half to get. So it's really, if you want it quick, you keep it to 1K. But here it is in context, right?
Really nice, yeah. And the timing will be much better soon. So it's getting faster, I would say, soon.
Yeah, I would say that too.
It's already quite good fast. So, but it's this in context. I mean, wow, yeah.
So you can see it's exactly where I painted the colors, and it's now dropped it into in context within a vehicle. It's not the exact vehicle that I wanted because I didn't include that vehicle. I can include that vehicle and say, put this in here, and it will also do that as well. And that's the kind of thing you can be creative and explore.
Fantastic. Really good story. I like it.
Okay, so let's just put that up on the board here, a little higher, and that becomes part of the story for these for this. As you can see, it creates an arrow to where something evolves from when it comes to generation of images.
Oh, that's sometimes really helpful, though. You see where it did come from, and then you know more where it belongs to, and you can scale in, scale out, and so that's really nice. Yeah, that's a wonderful workflow, and you can import here sketches and images and all the stuff. You can make your own board, so. It's really flexible.
If you're working in Photoshop, you can just copy from just a Control C from your image in Photoshop, and then Control V, drop it right into the board here. So it's really easy to work back and forth to Photoshop as you sketch. So a very, very nice workflow.
Or if you need an image from the web, you just go there, copy, paste, So it's really, I do this very often. So just getting some whatever images out from the web.
So, yeah, exactly. Copy directly from your desktop, and then Command C, and then I just copied the Command V. I just copied this from my desktop, and now it's in to use.
And this double click is also very good. Maybe you show this again. You double click an image, it gets big and huge, and then you double click again, and then it's full screen and you can move it around. I mean, this is really
A large
nice.
image, I think
So,
it's a 4K, maybe bigger than 4K image. It's a production photo. So yeah,
mhm.
when you double click, it goes really big, and you can pan around your
I
image.
think that's a Ford Cabrio, right?
Yeah, 4K.
Okay.
And then 2 clicks, escape, and then escape, and it pops back to where you were before. Once you get the hang of this, you use it all the time. It's really, really nice. Really
Yeah,
nice
but
way
it's
to.
very important for the user to have this flow, and you can go big and small again, you can move it around. This is really, and if you move it, it has this nice feeling, so it's really softly moving. It's not
Yeah, it's
really,
got.
it's really nice. You see it here directly how it's moving, so it's really nice feeling. You will love it. I mean, that's for sure.
And we've also spent a lot of time on loading when you have a board with maybe 2, 3, 400 images on it, that it loads very quickly as well. So let me just show you how fast these boards load. Of course, the one time I load the board, it doesn't want to load. Okay, yeah, maybe that was an empty project. Oh, it's an empty project. Sorry about that. That's an empty project. Here we go. There's the board. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. So this is how your board can get populated if you get creative. You just start going. So you can fill it up very quickly, and
Yeah.
it's really.
Yeah, but the loading time is really, really speed up. It's really nice now. You have maybe 1,000 images, it comes in like this, so, and that's really helpful also. You don't have to wait for 2 minutes, and if you save, it's also really fast, so that's what some applications out there, you have to wait maybe sometimes 10 minutes to save a file. Yeah. And
Yeah,
here
we've
it's
designed it
smooth
for
right.
1,000 images, right? That's what it was designed for. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it. Don't do it. But if you get there, it's always best to work with sort of smaller projects. Actually, as a matter of course, you want to
Yeah.
reduce the number of images you put on. Keep it as to tight, manageable.
But you can
manageable.
move your images in some areas of the board, because it's endless. You can move it around. You can just select the white images, whatever, and then you move it away. Maybe show this to make a multi-select of images.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you can just hold down the shift key and multi-select, of course, and you've got that. We have another really useful tool that when you click multiple images, um, it says, do you want to combine as a collage, or generate those from a selection, or do you want to add those to your favorites library, or arrange them in a row? And we start to use these collage tool all the time, because you can get a family of ideas together and just make a collage of it. It's really, really great. I use it all the time now, the collage tool.
Yeah,
And interesting, you can combine videos with your collage as well. So if you have a video, it'll automatically make a GIF out of it. So when you're in your collage, you can have moving images on the screen. So you could essentially make a presentation slide that has a few stills, but also has animated images in it and combined in it as well. And it becomes one image to send to someone else for.
okay, good. So now we saw a lot about this design lab, this command center now. That's really good. We understand.
Yeah,
So you
it's
can
really.
have a lot of images, you move it around, and you can do all stuff of it. You can change it to whatever you want to do, color changes, whatever you want to do.
Backgrounds, colors, scenes. You can combine, multiple tail light views into one. Um, it's
You can
really.
also you can also mix images. You have two cars maybe, and you just want to mix it. Maybe you can do this also.
Let's see. Okay. So let's try a mix here. Let's go for this one and this one. I don't know.
And if you have two images, you can also copy and paste again. If you want to double it, you can also double it.
Yeah. Let's go here. Shift, Command CV. Copy that. Put that
Yeah,
over here.
yeah.
Okay. I'll just put these over here. And now I will take these two. I'm just going to select these two images, and it says mix images. And then you've got a slider for how much percentage of each side you want to generate on the mix. So we'll just leave it about 50-50.
And if you look on the board, you see now these white dots, these background dots here, and you can turn them off or on like you want to do it. And we have some setting for the app. You can choose your settings, so that's no problem.
Yeah, up here we have a help tool. So this is where you can send your support questions. You drop your help ticket in there, and that goes directly to our team. And we have a yeah, okay. Well, we got a mixed image. We'll go back to that. Okay, here's our mixed result right here. So it
Yeah, looks good.
do very well, I would say, actually.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Mixing is really strong. You can really mix a lot, so by percentage and so left to right, and you can have different cars inside. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's very nice. All right,
Okay.
so let me stop sharing my screen, and I'll let Chris go for a little bit here. He's got lots to show you. There you go.
Okay, I will share my screen now. So, okay, so do you see my screen? Yes.
Yes, you see
Good.
your screen.
Okay, so I have here also my board here. So I'm using the same application like Philip is doing. So I say Raymond, go away. So I just have my boards here. So I can, here with the buttons, I can zoom in, zoom in. And I did some cars here already. If I want to see this car closer, I can double click, double click again. You see this image really big here. You see, and this really nice, you see. And what I did this image, by the way, it was generated in our system in product vision. And I mean, look about the quality of the tire and the carbon stuff and the lights and so on. The idea was here to make a Rivian car, a sports car, And this is just one example which comes out in a very short time. So I'm going back here. I'm closing this down here. So you see my board, and I'm zooming back a little bit, and then you see we have here our structure, and we have a process. What you can do step by step, but you don't have to. You can do everything in time when you want to do it. So we have started this plan here, and we have a tool. It's called AI Brainstorm. Here you can really, if you want to know what to do, or if you want to brainstorm a little bit, you can really, with AI Brainstorm, you get some idea of post-its, and then you can make some nice prompts out of it. A really nice tool also. We have a chat with AI. So this is a general Gemini AI here inside. And then we have concept. We have a nice package tool, which is also very interesting. I just opened it very fast. So we started here to be more precise. So we can start here by typing in the wheelbase, the overhang, the height, and the width of the car. And then you can scroll down, you can use apply configuration, and you can start to work in this area. So you can make from one car like a family car, so by using this package idea. So that's very interesting thing. And then we have here the possibility to load Gaussian splat. That's also very interesting, because in Shape VR we can produce them, we can load it in here and show it. And then we have develop as producing images, like Philip showed you before. Create images. You can go through all the presets, or you can go directly in here on the right side. Type in your prompt, what you want to do, your number of images, your aspect ratio. You see all these different aspect ratios here. 1K, 2K, 4K resolution. You can put in a lot of ingredients to your stuff and generate. Yeah, that's how you do an image here. And then we have videos. We can show you later on the video lab how we do this. 3DC Explorer was just explained by Philip, where he can put in the models and make the views, and even the ES360 HDR grader he showed you before. What we also have, which I like a lot, is like if I double click this image here, we go to detail, and detail is a little bit like you want to do your last final touch to the image. We have here some photo filters inside. Maybe it's simple stuff, but sometimes it's really interesting. You see the difference here. If I push here the different filters here, you see different results. And I like this because it's really fast. It's just a filter, but it's cool sometimes to make a little bit more like you want to see it. So, and then we have a lot of AI tools here inside. We can also change small things like brightness and contrast and saturation. So we don't have to go out of the system. We can stay in our Depix Design Studio. Which is also very cool is we can make it wider, the image. So if it's a squared image, I can press the button 16 by 9, 9 by 16. I can zoom out 2 times here. And I have a lot of AI filters here working, and some really cool stuff here around Magic Edit. We can do a hero shot in context and a lot of stuff here. So detail is the idea to make really the final touches on the image. Plan starts by planning stuff, concepting, and then creating images. Detailing makes the final stuff. And then we have a nice tool called Present. And present is like I have this was active, now it's already jumping in, and I can say, okay, I don't want this image here inside. I would like to have this image here inside, and I would like to have this image here inside. And then I can just go on play, and then you see it's like a slideshow. It now goes to the middle, now it jumps to the next image, and then you can show your 10, 20, 30 images next to each other in a really, really nice same place, which is really cool. This is a really nice tool because you can also say at the end, if you have maybe 20 images inside, you can say, write me out an MP4 from this, a GIF, a PDF, whatever you want. We have some transition things here inside you can choose from. We have autoplay, repeat, duration for one image and stuff like this. And this is a really helpful tool, but I use it all the time for just having very fast the same size of the images. So I can just grab them here, put these images here inside and press play, and then I can go just from here to here to here. Yeah, which is really cool. Yeah, and what I did here, I went to product vision. So right now we are here in Design Lab, and we have our plan here. We have Design Lab, and we have also product vision. And product vision is a tool where you can type in when you start here. This is in German, and it means what you want to do today, what you want to design today, and then you just type in your product name. And the system goes out to the market, gets a lot of information, not just about shapes and images, but also about dimensions, market price, all this. It creates a really nice market report. You can download this also. Though if you want to do something like for cars, like a steering wheel or seat or wheel, you can do this here directly, or you can do this for every product you can imagine. Clothes, even everything you can imagine you can do here, and then you get these images, and I just go to my vault here. I see what I did before. You can just scroll through your stuff you did today. I did this today, these images from Rivian sports car, and here I did some Ford stuff yesterday. You can load more, so every image you create here will be inside the tool, and then you can go to one image here. And you can say, okay, have a look about this image, and then you load it to Studio back, or load it to Canvas, or you export your image. And this is an example. I did this Ford Capri yesterday evening, and I wanted to have this old feeling of a Ford Capri, but with new surfacing, surface treatment, new feeling in it. And I did some really nice stuff here yesterday. So product vision allows you to be really fast with a lot of images. And that's how I did these images here. And if you look here on this image, I did this one here. It looks like a Rivian sports car. I mean, yeah. And this was done in 1 minute. Yeah, it's not. You don't have to model it to get this idea done. And it looks very, very finished. Even maybe in your design process, not finished, but you get this idea very fast, and you see a very strong headlight from Rivian here, and the whole feeling fits very well together. Yeah, you can do this very fast. I have the second one here, a side view, and I have this side view, which I like a lot because it gave me a really nice DLO here suddenly, So it looks a bit Porsche, but also a bit Rivian. So it's a very interesting part. And you see this one here. And then I had this image here, and I said, okay, I went to our Raymond here, and I said, hey, Raymond, I have this image. Can you make your car out of this? I just asked him, and he gave me this one. So that was his answer. So he made it more Rivian like, a little bit more the face, the front, and the rear end. He showed me both, so which I like a lot. And then I said, okay, maybe I want to see this in the wheels in the same body color. So he gave me this. So I changed the wheel to the same body color, and then I changed the wheel to 3 double spoke wheel. And you see everything is possible here. So it's always just one click. And how to do it, you can just say here, okay, you say, okay, take this image. Now the image here is inside, and then I double click here, like Philip did this before, and then you can brush on the wheels. You see here, brush here, and I do something mad now. As I tell it now, crazy, crazy chrome wheels. Yeah. I would not do this normally, but to show you how it could work, So, and then I just apply Magic Paint, and now he's working here. See on the left side, he's doing his job, Raymond, and we can have a look here in the meantime. And then when he's ready, we can just drag over the image here. And that's really cool because you can just put it here inside, it's working, and then you can see your stuff. So I did this Porsche here also with some crazy wheels before here. It gives you crazy wheels, but yeah, it's just a showcase. So and then you can just drag in the image. That's also very helpful. I move it up to here and I put it here on top of this image. Like Philip did before. So we can really nice now. Yeah, to show it here. And you see what he did? He did this crazy wheels for us. The crazy was just a word. I can define it much more, but it looks different, so, and it looks very fast. And you don't have to be an expert. I just said, here are the wheels, do it. Yeah. Looks good. Philip, what do you think? Nice, huh?
Yeah, I think it looks great, and I think this is and if you notice that nothing else changed, just the wheels.
Yeah. And we can move this image around. I just select them. I can say arrange, and he puts it straight, so very nice too. We can also say make a collage like Philip showed to you. We have a lot of things to do. We can do a lot here. We have here other tools, what we can do here. It's a lot to show, maybe too much for today, but we have all possibilities around these images.
Maybe you could show the color agent on the left.
What do you mean the color agent? You mean color material here?
Yeah, yeah, the color material agent.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I want to go there. Yeah. Okay. Good. I can go now. I have here Design Lab. I have Product Vision, where I did these visions here in a very short time. And we have color material here also inside. So now I'm in this CMF Vision tool. It's an agent. And it's quite cool. Here on the top, you get some market ideas, and then you can choose which area for the world you want to have. And you can choose maybe a ribbon would be good. How would it look for Europe? So the color material for Europe. And I say here again the same. I just type in here Rivian sports car 2030. I think I said. So I just type in the same title again as I synthesize, and now the system goes out to the market and looking for Europe for color and material trends. And that's something I wanted to achieve because you have this normally you have this yearly, you get a color and trend book, you go to some meetings, you talk about, but we want to make this more current, so it goes out and looks for some stuff and it comes back with some boards here. So that's very interesting. So you see here your boards here. So, it gives you names. It gives you this here. So we can go maybe to Alpine Horizon, which I like a lot here. I just click on the board here. And then it gives you all the materials here and some finish recommendations. And then you have the chance to say, okay, now create me a mood board. I don't do it right now, but it's really cool. You just push the button and then it is a mood board. And then you can add this stuff to your collection, So, and then I go back here. I close this up here just to make it a little bit short. I go to my collections here down here. And I have this let me see, where is it? Alpine Horizon. This one, what we just created here together, it has a 85% strength in this marketplace. And then we take this, and then you can say, okay, now we want to have an exterior here. So now I go to my favorites, and that's also a nice panel. And favorites, I can put every image to my favorites, So I have here a lot of images inside, my favorites here. So I can just take one here. I can just maybe take this one here and drag it over, and okay, this image exterior here, So and then because I have now my Alpine Horizon selected here, I can just say okay, generate renders, and then it's generating 3 renders for us, and in these 3 colors he did for us. So it should be in this 3 different colors here appear. And then you have a library down here, and you see what I did before. I did some cars, and if I click on those cars, it's like it would be really hard to define this color just by your sliders. It's more or less impossible. But if you use this color material finishes here, it gives you a really nice feeling, So you have this fantastic color set up here for the car. which is really not easy to generate, and this helps you a lot to make this fantastic feeling. This is a kind of mood board it's creating. I did here some other stuff. We don't have to show this, but I wanted to show you these cars here a little bit, same car, different color. And you see, this is like you want to do it. No education, nothing. You just do it. I mean, it's really simple. Another mood board here. And I wanted to show you one other example here. This interior is very interesting to see. This was a shot from Xpeng in China. I think the car is called P9. And I changed it and said, make it more like a Porsche, and it added the road outside, the Porsche road and the logo. And then it gave me different color material options, and if you look at the light setting and the options and so the quality is quite nice. I mean, that's what you want, and this is now from image. You can do this the same with a clay model or with a CAD image, whatever you want to do. It's really nice to see. And now we see these images we did here. 1, 2, 3, really nice. And that's how color material is working. So you have all your stuff here inside. You did before. I did this for relights. Even this RV here. I worked for this company Eura in Germany here. So we have the car here in different color setups, and it's fascinating. Like he get these color feelings, So it's not easy to make these colors really without having this idea. And for products, it's also working for products really nice. If you look on this helmet here, I mean, it's like I did this kid sport helmet here. This is generated with product vision and visualized now here in color material vision, which is really nice. I mean, yeah, mood board.
It's a great way to explore all kinds of new ideas that if you're a technical expert and you're really, really good at 3D modeling and rendering, you can achieve this. But for most of us who are not experts in that realm and you still have ideas you want to explore and create, you can now, generate some really fantastic, well-resolved results and decide whether you want.
What we did here, we used intelligence in the beginning. We have also a trend cockpit where you can look for different areas on the world about the color trending and material trending and finish signals. We have also some data radars. We have CMF worlds, region compares and collections. So it's a lot of stuff to do here, but really cool because it gives you very fast, really nice stuff, so which you can use for your renderings. So CMF is very, very powerful. And if you use Raymond here, for example, you can also ask him, make me a nice color for China or so. It's also possible. So Raymond is very intelligent. So Raymond knows all about our tool. And that's for the future. I think one of the biggest things here, Raymond. So this is very much to understand what I
I
showed
think,
you. Yeah,
I think on next week's podcast, Chris, we'll cover Raymond extensively.
just maybe Raymond. Yeah, you can make Raymond also bigger. I think you can you can you can move this here around down here. You see, you can move this around down here. You can move it around to here, and you can make it smaller again also. So you can move it around, and maybe it will be also in the console very soon. So we will see.
We have one more agent to discuss still here, though.
Yes, yeah. Oh, we have not so much time anymore. Yeah, we have Video Lab. So Design Lab, Product Vision, Color Material, Video Lab. I just click here on, and Video Lab is quite cool because it's a quite strong tool already. So I did this. This car here was a P7 from Xpeng, and I changed it in our tool to be a station wagon here, shooting brake. And then I used an image from Xpeng to get this feeling here, and then I just did this. So it's quite nice. I mean, you can do really nice stuff here now, and you have here your presets: text to video, image to video, frames to video, and reference to video. We have also some really nice presets you can choose here. Yeah, we have vertical or horizontal, and we have 4, 6, 8 seconds available here, and then you can describe your shot here, and that's really cool. I did this one. I like this one too. I did I did a nice car for Porsche here with this image. And we have the chance here to cut the video a little bit, so we can crop it, and we can also extend it and loop and extend video. So that, I mean, more or less everything you need in a basic good package for doing videos. And then you can put your video back to Design Lab and show it here, or you put it in your presentation inside. Everything is possible. Just before we come to an end, I just go quick to some projects I did here. So I'm loading here this tool here, this file here. So I did some nice roof boxes for Porsche design here. And you see, you can do this also like this on a car, but you can also do really cool stuff here. So more like edgy box, and you can do it more like a car as a box. So possibilities are endless here. You can do more normal stuff, put it in the studio, make a nice visualization very fast. You can do this project here in 10 minutes, no problem.
Great.
Then we have, just to show you some cool stuff I did with Neo here, I prepared some nice interiors here because interiors still very nice. You see that's fantastic quality. So you see this, yeah, I mean, it's just to show it to you guys. And even the exterior here, if I go here to the exterior, it looks fantastic. I mean, yeah, full screen, carbon fiber. I did these cars here. So, and this is all done in product vision. And in the future, we have Raymond additionally to it. And it's really, yeah, it's amazing. Every image looks really cool. Yeah, this one looks more like a serious standard Neo, but it's cool. You can do also like outstanding stuff. Like, yeah. So it makes a lot of fun, and interior is really really nice. I mean, you can look about these images we can produce here. Really really fantastic. I love it. Yeah. Really different colors, going back and forth, different colors, different design, different colors. You do this seating box here in a very fast time. You get a feeling for the whole structure. If you now paint on a part, you change the color of a part. It's like a dream comes true. So we have.
It is really,
I
and,
want to
and it includes everything, right? Design Lab or the Design Studio comes with all this.
You can do all this here in the tool. You don't have to go out. I did these headlamps for Ferrari here, so it's like fantastic. And we are working here also on the next steps already to integrate the headlamp in the real 3D curve, so it will fit in your clay model in the future. So I think it's unbelievable what's coming here. But look about the visual quality here, about this glass reflection here, and all the stuff you see, and the details and the technical details. It's amazing what you can do here. So for
It's about the variety of shapes and ideas you have here. It's really fantastic, right? It's
Yeah, and you can do it for every product in the car or for every other product. So you see here, I
we
did
started
this
with cars, but this is equally applicable to any product. For example, seats, for
seat.
instance.
I mean, a seat is very complicated already, but you get new shapes very fast, and they can design. And then you go in shape, you make a 3D model, you can turn it around. So I think it's a really a push for the future. Gaussian splat is also very nice. You can have it in your Google and walk, and you can brand it. I put here Depix on site, Depix here, Porsche here, so you can do all, yeah, you can do also crazy stuff. So, and look about the quality of the image, about this texturing and all this. It's like incredible good. I did this a long time. I know how difficult it is to do it. And colors, again, color material, CMF vision, boom. So interesting to see. Maybe not for your car, but maybe this one is better. So, and that's all again, this mixing. You can mix your color material finish with your product vision. You go to Design Lab, you have Raymond. So it's a huge tool now for everybody. Yeah, I would say
Great.
now it's 5 o'clock. That's from my side today, and we can go next time more
Yeah.
close.
Until next time, we'll be back again next week, I expect. And next week we'll talk a bit more in detail on our Raymond agent, which we are super excited about. This is the future of this kind of thing where you could just converse with a really helpful, useful, intelligent thing that can help you get your work done better and be more creative.
Yeah, but it was really fun to make this demo also because it's really nice to do. I mean, the handling's very nice. It's floating, it feels like you come in a flow, so you do stuff and here and change here. And you have so many now nice opportunities to do something, that's really helpful.
We're super excited about it. Thanks, you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah,
Look
thank
for the
you.
recording. This will be posted as soon as it's ready if you need a recording. Okay. Thanks, guys. See you then.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.